Good morning. Today, I'd like to show how to set up an absolutely minimal programming environment under Windows using the Fortran programming language. To get started, we're going to need some software. I'm running a Windows 11 machine here, sort of. We'll talk about that later. Firstly, I need to install a package manager. Then I need to install at least one reasonably nice text editor. Then we will install a package called Strawberry Pearl, which contains within it a Fortran compiler. I'll do a Google search on how to install Chocolatey. We are not going to subscribe to the newsletter. According to the instructions, I need to run an administrative shell. It's also possible to do this with a non-administrative shell, but we'll look at that another time maybe. I have right-clicked on Windows PowerShell, and I want to make sure that I run it as an administrator. As you can see, we are restricted here, which means we have to do a little bit more before we can install Chocolatey. Reading the instructions, I will copy, paste, and run that command. Back to the instructions. Double-clicked to select the entire line. Right-click, copy, back to my PowerShell. Right-click, enter. And shortly afterwards, it claims that we have installed the Chocolatey program. I can test this by trying to run it by saying Choco. It knows what the Choco command is, but since I didn't tell Choco to do anything, it returns this message. Next, I need a text editor. I actually believe that I'm going to install two different text editors here. I'll put Nano on, which is a very simple graphical user interface type editor, and then thinking of the old school Unix editor, VI, I'll look into what kind of VI style editors are available to us. I will tell it run all scripts, capital A. Allegedly, there is an editor named Nano available now. We'll investigate that in a while. Also, I want to see what kind of VI style editors we can easily get. There's quite a few of them. One of them that seems popular nowadays is NeoVim, which you run by issuing the command nvim. Firstly, we have to install it. All. And lastly, I need to install a Fortran compiler of some type. I'll be installing a package called Strawberry Pearl, which contains within it the GNU Fortran compiler gfortran. All. The editors are probably available even to the administrator here, although for security reasons, it's unlikely to let me create executables from the command line when I'm logged in as the administrator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit from this PowerShell window and then open up a new one as an ordinary user. That was a little big for this screen size, so I shrank it down a little. So I'll open this up again and open up another PowerShell window. I'll shrink that down as well and position it directly above the first one. I can clear the screen in that way. I want to do that so that I can be sure that Alt-Tab flips me back and forth between these two windows. I'm doing this with Alt-Tab here. Three things I want to check before I do anything else. Number one, is the Nano editor available? Number two, is nvim available? And then most importantly, is the command gfortran available? From the command line, if I type any of those commands and it returns a message telling me it doesn't know what that command is, then that tells me something's gone wrong with the installation. So first things first, Nano is a text editor. You can type text directly into it. You can do Control O to write the file out, Control X to exit, and it has all the usual things you would expect: highlighting, cut and paste, and so on and so forth. At the moment, I'm not wanting to do anything with that, so I'm just going to say Control X, which takes me back to my command prompt. Nano appears to work correctly. Secondly, I installed neovim, the command for which is nvim. Nvim opens up. I can type stuff. If you know about Vim from the Unix world, then this is basically that editor. 2 down, 1 to go. I need to know if gfortran works. gfortran reports a message that I didn't tell it any input file. Compilation terminated. But the point of this is it knows what the gfortran command is. To me, it looks as though we're in business. As mentioned, I want to be as quick as possible about this. Our editors are working. It looks like the compiler is working. So I want to write the usual Hello World program, get it to run, and we'll call it quits for this one. We will make refinements later. Firstly, remember I'm logged on as an ordinary user, Dr. G here, that would be me. I'm sitting in my home directory. If I ask what files are around, there are the usual folders that are in a Windows user's home directory. There's a file called .nanorc, which we won't be talking about right now. There's that file junk that we just mentioned. I'm going to use nano to create a source file. The name of the file is hi.f90. Later, when we compile this program, the .f90 tells the compiler that this is a source code file for Fortran of standard Fortran 90 or later. There are a number of refinements and fine points that we'll talk about as we go along, but for now, every main program must have an end statement, which is why there's an end there. The first line, print star comma, prints something to the usual type of output, in this case the screen, in some sort of default formatting, comma, and then it's going to print out to the screen the literal ASCII string HELLO space WRLD, hello world. I need to save this. So according to the directions at the bottom of the screen, to write the file out, I need to type a Control O. I could change the name of the file that I'm about to write, but I'm just going to leave it called hi.f90. Then, for now at least, I will get completely out of my editor. I'll say Control X for exit. If you look at the list of files that were present just a moment ago, Other than the usual folders, there were only two other files. One of them was .nanorc, the other one was junk. But now there's nanorc, junk, and also hi.f90. This is a source file. To turn it into something the computer can actually run, I need to feed it through the compiler. The one we've installed is gfortran. As with everything else, there are many options and switches that we could throw. We're keeping it simple for right now. Previously, besides the usual folder files, there was .nanorc, hi.f90, and junk. But now, in addition to those previously mentioned files, there's a file called a.exe. This is the executable file that was produced by gfortran when it processed the file hi.f90. The way that we run this program is we just say its name, but there is just one little bit of trickiness. For security reasons, the current directory is generally not in the path variable. So if I just say a or a.exe, the computer is not going to understand what I'm talking about. For example, even though a.exe is right there in the directory, I have to tell it /, the current directory. Within the current directory, run program A, and I get my hello world message back. In this short video, we've seen under Windows, kind of, how to install Chocolatey, how to install Nano, how to install VI, how to install Strawberry Pearl, which has a Fortran compiler in it, how to create a very simple source file, how to compile it, how to run it. Since I want to keep this as short as possible, I'm going to stop right there, but there will be more to come. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a good evening. I'll talk to you again soon. I kept saying kind of, sort of, and now I can reveal to you that well, if it's in a cooperative mood, there we go. I can reveal to you that this isn't actually a Windows 11 machine, it's a Mac. I've been running a Windows 11 virtual machine to do all of my Windows 11 stuff in. If I think it's useful to do stuff in Windows, I will do it that way. If I decide I want to do Linux, I'll do it that way as well. And I found out that under the hood, Mac OS is an actual certified Unix, so that holds no terror for us either. Again, I'll talk to you again soon.